Welcome back, Shed House viewers. Beautiful Saturday night, middle of the summer, nice and hot. Here I am in the shop sweating, working on this pig. As you recall in some of my earlier videos, the skid steer has been sitting in this shop for almost 2 years. Well, that all changed this weekend. I finally got this baby to drive herself out of the shop. There's proof down here somewhere next to that Busch Light can. Maybe some tire marks, I don't know. Maybe I'm just making it up. But anyway, I've got a whole bunch of work done on this thing. Up to this point, I'll kind of fill you in. I bought this machine for $800 dead. It's a Gehl 4625 SX. No, this vehicle is not for sale. You cannot buy this. But you can inquire within to find out more information. So I bought this thing for $800, not running. The guy I got it from, he didn't know much about it because it came with like a 2-machine deal. So he bought a running version of this, and then he got this as a parts machine. And I'll tell you what, it may have been better off to leave this thing as a parts machine. I've got way too much time in this thing. But the price was right, and I haven't spent too much money yet. Just a lot of my time and a lot of beer. So anyway, I had to pull the motor out because the engine would start, even though the previous guy wasn't sure if it did. It did start. I fired it up, but I had no hydraulic functions. So underneath, down in this area, there's a hydraulic coupler, kind of like what your wood splitter would use, just a Lovejoy, I think that's the right term for it. But there was a connection between the pumps that sit up in here and that engine. And so I had to pull the motor out. That was a chore. Got the engine removed, put back in, fired back up, and voila, hydraulic functions. Okay, so why did I let this thing sit for 2 years after I got it running? Well, that's because life gets busy, folks. And had a whole bunch of other things in the way, other more important projects that needed to get done. So a couple days ago, I got back on it. I worked on buttoning up a few hydraulic lines that were loose. For some reason, the previous person that owned this a few people back, they loosened a bunch of hydraulic lines. I think they were going to part it out and then stopped. So I had to go back through, find all these hydraulic lines that were leaking, get all those clamped back up. I traced down a few other hydraulic lines underneath on the undercarriage that were leaking. Got those snugged up. They might be seeping just a little bit, but hydraulic fluid, it's cheap enough that I'm willing to let it leak a little bit as I test things out. There are tires that are worn out on this thing still. There's pivot points that I need to address, like these bolts here. So there's a bolt there. Well, there's bolts missing all over this machine. Like here, back here, this pin is about to fall in. Up here, almost the same thing. So I need to go through and address all that stuff. The throttle mechanism, that was all janky for some reason. I've got this somewhat freed up now, but the line that went back to the pump was cut. So I was sitting there wiggling this thing, going like, what in the frick is going on? Why is this handle able to move back and forth, but the pump itself is not receiving any of that motion? Well, that's it, right there. Somebody hacked this thing, and it was not me, and that's a clean cut. So now I got to get on the internet and figure out where to buy one of those damn things. Might be able to rig something up if I have to. I can just measure the overall length, I guess. I don't know. But it's just a cable for, like a sleeved cable. So, yeah, here's where I'm at. I've got steering functions that work, left, right. I've got bucket functions that work. And, one other thing I had to fix on this. I about killed myself trying to drive this out the first time. Look right here. That's a pivot point, and there's another one over here. I'll try to give you an idea what happens when you move the throttle, not the throttle, when you move, come on, Tom. When you move the joystick on the left, that's your steering, forward, backwards, and then you kind of like twist it in order to send power to the right or to the left. Well, those joints were completely blown out of the thing, so the first experience was absolutely magical as I almost took out this post in the shop. So anyway, I got that fixed, and then I was able to drive it out, and that's when I noticed there were some hydraulic leaks, so I got those buttoned up. But I'm gonna get the the throttle cable fixed, and get these bolts put back in all these joints. Lower this cab back down. I still need to buy a seat for it, but I'll sit on a cushion for now. I do have a bucket. The bucket's sitting outside. Hopefully this quick tack setup functions as it's supposed to, and nothing's bent too far out of shape. When I got the machine, I did not see these beautiful hack weld jobs. Something happened to this thing at some point. God knows how many hours are on it. Even if the hour meter was there, I wouldn't trust it. It's almost like it fell off a trailer at one time. Or maybe somebody was trying to horse a stump out of the ground. I don't know. But anyway, that's just a quick update on the Gehl skid steer. I'm getting closer and closer to making this thing run. Oh yeah, one other thing I had to fix. There are lug studs missing. I don't know why, but there were 4 missing there, and then back here there were 4 missing. And you can see that that wheel is funky dory. I knew about this when I bought it. It's pretty obvious. You're blind as a bat if you don't see this during an inspection. But yeah, that's the inner wheel of a different wheel welded to this wheel. And these tires are rubber filled. There's like rubber coming out the tit right there. So I'll probably be in the market for rims and tires at some point, but before I spend that kind of money, I'm going to make sure this thing can warm up, go through a full drive cycle, get it up to temp, run it hard, and then let it cool back down and make sure I don't have any oil leaks that are serious and no like engine issues or pump issues, because if I get to that point, you're a parts machine. You know where you're going to the auction. So anyway, I just figured do this quick little recap here all in one shot. I'll get some videos of this thing operating as soon as I can. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for more content from Shed House.